The next step is going to be creating our Firebase structure and our Firebase account and so on and so on. But first, let me fix one thing. We can still see our check marks right here. So we're gonna fix that by putting an alpha equals 0 because we don't need it anymore. Okay, right. And now let's go to Google. We're gonna create our Firebase project. Let's go to Google. Type in, let's Google Firebase, just Firebase. And if you, in case you don't have a Google account right now, create one, and then resume the video. And you're gonna land on this page. Okay, go to the upper right corner and press go to console. Alright, as you can see, we don't have any projects yet, so we're gonna add a project by clicking on the plus button. It's gonna bring us to this. The project name can be whatever you want. It's gonna be the project name inside of Firebase. Just let's call it a login screen tutorial, just for the sake of our naming. We're just gonna use the same name as our project in Xcode. Okay. Our location, well, it depends where the location is. I mean, my location is gonna be Europe West. All right. Okay. Well, just take US East. That's fine. And then gonna agree to all of this. Just use your location. The Cloud Firestore location, just leave it on US East. And then you've got to create your project, and then we have to wait. This might take a few seconds, up to 10, but let's just wait for it. Alright, the project is ready. Let's continue. And right here, we're getting moved to this screen, and as you can see, Firebase has a lot of stuff you can do with it. You can get authentication, you can store data on it, analytics, cloud messaging, whatever. But what's interesting for us today in this project is the authentication and the database. So right here we can see add an app to get started, and we want to add an iOS app. So let's click on that, and it's gonna bring us to this page. Now you're gonna take a look, go back to your project, go to the upper folder, the most top folder, and you have to copy this bundle identifier. Copy that, go back and paste it in here. Okay. Both text, you don't need to fill it in, that's optional. So just press register after you paste it in your bundle identifier, and it's gonna create a config file for your Firebase. So right here, download config file. So we're gonna download the Google Service Info plist. Good. Once you've downloaded that, you're gonna go to wherever the location is and copy it. So you can take the location wherever it is. I've got it right here, and I'm gonna move it to the same place where my info.plist is. All right. Now right here outside. So, and I'm gonna edit the name because I had a Google Service Info plist already, so it added a 2 automatically. So it's important that your file name is exactly like this, right? Exactly Google Service -info.plist. Nothing more, nothing less. It has to be exactly like that. Okay, and if we follow the guide, let's press next. Okay, So now we have to initialize our pod in our project. So we can do that. I'm going to do this very quickly. I'm not going to explain it very much. I'm going to do a separate video on that, a how to install CocoaPods in 4 minutes guide. So watch out for that. If you don't know how to do it, I'm just gonna very quickly go over it. So we're gonna go to your terminal here, call cd, and then drag in, and then first gonna call pod init, and then gonna pod install. So this is the file that we worked on, and this is a new file. If you initialize a pod, you have to work on this file, not this file anymore, because this file doesn't include your pods, only this file. So we're gonna open that. Inside here we've got a new folder called pods, and in this folder we got a new file called pod file, and right in this space we're gonna put in all the pods that we want to download or install. So he says pod Firebase core. That's good, but we need more. All right, I'm gonna show you what stuff we need, because Firebase doesn't know what we need. He just gives you the default pod, and I copied it right away. This right here. We need the core, the authentication, the file store, and the storage. So the storage, we're gonna save the image in our storage, and we're gonna save the user data in file store. And in the authentication, we're gonna save the password and the username or the email. All right. Gonna bring up the terminal again, call pod install, and now it's just wait. All right, now the pods are installed and we can use it. So before we do anything, let's build the project by hitting Command B, so the project can actually take all the download stuff, and that's gonna take a while too. So we can go back to our app delegate. We need, if you look over to the guide, it says that we have to configure the Firebase app. All right, so let's do that. Let's go back to app delegate. Let's import. Let's import Firebase like so, and call Firebase App .configure. All right, so we have to run it. Go back to our Google Firebase, click next, and it's gonna wait until the app has actually communicated with the Firebase server, and that's gonna do as soon as we start the app. So let's wait until the app loads. Let's take a look back. It's still not verifying for whatever reason. Anyway, let's skip this step. I'm pretty sure that we did the right thing. So we go back here to develop and then authentication, and right here we're gonna click on email and password and click enable and click on save. That's it. Our email and password method is enabled. And back here I'm gonna click create database. I'm gonna start in test mode, which means everyone is allowed to read and write. Normally you would lock the they read and write to the ones developing, but since we're only testing our app, it's fine that we allow everyone to do that. So click on enable. All right, now our Firebase is all set up. We can actually start programming now.